Hello. Thanks for joining us on Footprint Report, where we dive into the latest news and trends about tokens, projects, protocols, and more. In this video, we'll talk about the Build Your Project with Footprint Analytics Data API. Our presentation today is separated into three parts. 1. Footprint Analytics API Introduction. 2. Overview of Footprint's API offerings. 3. Why use Footprint API? Okay, we begin with the first part, Footprint Analytics API Introduction. Footprint has a unique and very flexible API that allows you to build full-fledged data pipelines for data analysis, as well as machine learning applications. This is achieved by providing two types of interfaces. The first is for uploading data to the platform, Upload API. The implementation of the first one is quite trivial and requires only one endpoint. The latter is for obtaining data from the platform, Data API. Data API is a more complex interface, involving more ways to interact and allowing blockchain and dApp developers to gain insight from the distributed ledger, covering the scenarios like track whales, NFT collections, GameFi data, and more, from 20 chains. We have developed two types of API and two subtypes within one of them in order to cover most of the cases. REST API. Pre-built, one-click, hard-coded, but less flexible than SQL API. SQL API. Flexible, compatible with the query's web application queries, but more complex to construct. Sync. For the simple, fast executing queries. Async. For more complex queries requiring more time to be executed. REST API allows to quickly integrate an application, since each endpoint is a pre-built, hard-coded script that we have identified ourselves as one of the most popular. All endpoints come with easy-to-use tools for filtering, sorting, and pagination. The SQL API is a more flexible interface and allows you to get this for more narrow scenarios. The SQL API was designed in such a way that before its immediate use, it was possible to get a visualization within the web application, and then copy and paste the SQL code into the SQL API so that the same data is received. Within the footprint, there are two modes for executing queries to the SQL API, synchronous and asynchronous. API call to the synchronous endpoint implies the SQL query will be executed by the footprint servers as soon as an HTTP request is received from the application, thereby maintaining the connection. This makes sense when using lightweight requests, as in this case the application does not have to wait long for execution. For heavy requests, it is recommended to use an asynchronous request. Unlike a synchronous one, the client application does not have to maintain a connection with the server during execution, but instead can simply get the request immediately, according to which, after some time, separately get the execution results. As part of the asynchronous API, two steps should be covered to fetch the data. The following endpoint will be used to send an order for SQL execution. The second step is to send a request to receive results by the identifier obtained when accessing the previous endpoint. The endpoint for this second step is described on this page. After learning Footprint Analytics API Introduction, let's come to the second part, Overview of Footprint's API Offerings. Footprint's API products include 1. NFT data endpoints. 2. GameFi data endpoints. 3. Chain data endpoints. 4. Address data endpoints. 5. Token data endpoints. 6. DeFi data endpoints. Let's look at this NFT collection comparison use case. NFT data endpoints fetch NFT ownership, transfer, price, order book, metadata, and more, making it easy to build NFT applications instantly. Covering most chains and support from raw data to analytic metrics. Well, the last part is why use Footprint API. Footprint provides enterprise-grade Web3 APIs that connect any tech stack to blockchain networks. Our 24/7 worldwide support ensures your project's easy launch, priority maintenance, and sustainable growth, with custom SLAs to support your demands. Unified API. One call to retrieve all data across any supported blockchain. Full dataset. Covering full dataset from raw data to statistics metrics. Stability and reliability. Highest quality data with top protocols being manually verified. Customized. Supports both REST API and SQL API for open and flexible data access methods. That's all for today. Hope you enjoy the video. If you liked this video and want to find out more about footprint reports, then watch our recent video on footprint reports, linked below. If you have some suggestion, just feel free to discuss with us. See you next time.